Hi, Seah.
Hi.
What's your favourite line from The Mandalorian Chapter 19?
This isn't the Empire, son.
Ooh. That kind of sums up the entire episode, actually.
I know. It's just kind of how he says it as well.
Yeah.
It's all a bit panicky.
Yeah.
Hi, Branwen.
Hello.
What is your favourite line from The Mandalorian Chapter 19?
Good morning, L52. Happy Bendu Day. Which, for the listeners who don't know this, we're currently recording very early in the morning. And I didn't plan that, because when I picked that line, we were still going to be doing our usual late night recording. But as it turns out, that was ideal.
That was ideal. Great.
You're listening to a bleary-eyed Sisters of the Force, and
good morning.
We're a Star Wars podcast where we talk about Star Wars. I'm Branwen.
I'm Seah.
And today we're continuing our Mandalorian visit.
Yeah.
With Chapter 19. We're getting close to the end of Season 3. Well, we're not getting close to the end of Season 3.
We're in the middle.
Yeah. We're getting closer to the end of the Mandalorian build-up, I guess is what I mean.
Yeah.
This is, a very unusual episode.
This is a wild episode.
It generated a lot of controversy, as you can imagine.
All right. Yeah. Can you give me a brief overview of the controversy?
Well, I think it was just for a similar reason, and I think this is one of the first things I wanted to talk about anyway, really, was that it is almost like not an episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, sure.
In that The Mandalorian's not in it very much.
Yeah.
And it's in a similar way to Chapter 5 of the Book of Boba Fett,
where Boba Fett's not in it.
Yeah. And I had a realisation when watching this that it's like a mirror image, because this is episode 3 of a season.
Yeah.
And Book of Boba Fett was 3 from the end of that season. So they're like mirror image from the start or end. And very much the same kind of idea of like, let's tell another story for a little
interlude thing.
Yeah. And I think with that in mind, based on how excited I was about the return of the Mandalorian, I'm kind of really excited about this episode too, and I was at the time.
Yeah.
And I had the similar feelings of like, oh, are we really doing this? To quote Poe or Finn, or whichever one it was. I just love that thing of sidestepping, and the fact that emphasizes that there's a bigger story at play. Yeah. That we're not just doing this little kind of like small character. Not small character, but a few characters. Yeah. There's a lot more going on, and obviously like the links to the New Republic and the sequel trilogy and all of that. I thought was really interesting. Yeah,
this is a kind of really interesting episode. Did you know before it came out that it was going to be completely different, or was it a shock to everyone?
It was a shock, yeah. Especially as like it picks up exactly where it left off. Like we do get that little kind of prologue.
We're in the mines,
Yeah, and so we just thought, we're going to carry on following Mando and bo-katan as they go do whatever they do next.
No, you can have 3 minutes of them at the beginning and then that's it.
And then all the way through the first time round, you're watching this whole like Pershing story thinking, any minute now we're going to cut back to Mando and bo-katan. Yeah. Any minute now. Anyway, and then like, I don't know what point it was, but somewhere along the way, I think when they set off on the train to go and find the Star Destroyer. Yeah. I was like, oh, right, this is just this episode. Yeah,
we're not actually going back.
Yeah.
We do go back though.
We do.
For the briefest of briefest seconds.
We do get a little bit of consolidated stuff. And I suppose at this point we should talk about the title. Like the title is The Convert.
Yeah.
And there's obviously been a lot of debate about who does that refer to.
Who is the convert? Yeah. Is it Bo-Katan? Is it Pershing? Is it what's going on?
Is it Elia Kane even?
Yeah.
Like we still don't really know what her game is.
What her game is. She's an enigma.
Yeah, and like even with Pershing, we never really found out. Like, and it's too late now. I don't think we'll ever find out.
No.
When they say convert, do we mean he's converted back to the New Republic? Was he ever part of the Empire? Was he working under duress there?
What was happening?
So many questions.
Yeah.
And I feel that's a theme with the Mandalorian chapter titles generally.
Yes. We're going to make you think it's about this thing, but actually it might be about this thing.
Could be. I mean, the whole title of the program is so like, who is the Mandalorian?
What is going on?
Is it the Mandalorian people as a whole?
Well, we get this like whole opening sequence when we do pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
We get the mines, we get all of this like, well, it does feel like you're just going to go straight along with where they are, but it's whiplash quite quickly.
It is, yeah. Yeah. I mean, for starters, it starts really, really quietly. And we've just literally the last thing we saw the week before was a reveal of an actual live mythosaur.
Yeah.
And it's just like this little quiet scene by the lake as Mando wakes up. And it's like, wait, what? Like, I think, the whiplash immediately kicks in.
Yeah. And bo-katan's being like, nothing to see here. If you don't remember a thing, then I'm not going to tell you about it. Yeah,
she actually asks him, did you see anything down there? But
did you see it?
Such a way where we're like, yeah, did you?
Yeah.
He's sort of like vague. And so we've seen her make a decision almost, which she's done without taking her helmet off, and for the rest of the episode, she doesn't take her helmet off.
She doesn't take her helmet off.
And so has she been converted to the cult? I mean, the Children of the Watch.
No, you're right the first time. But then straight away, we're leaving Mandalore.
Well, literally as we're leaving, the sound design of the gauntlet, which I don't think I've ever noticed it, but like there's a sound where she kicks in the sublight drives, I guess. Like it's lifted off, which I think is where they use like repulsor lifts or thrusters or something to like get off the ground.
Sure.
And then the wings flip and it turns into sublight drive, which is what propels it until it gets into space. And it's just got this like weird bang happens.
Yes.
I think it did anyway, unless it was something in my house. I meant to re-listen and just check.
It was like it was a long time ago now.
I don't know if it was like breaking the sound barrier or something like that. But it just, I've never heard a ship do it. It was kind of cool.
My favourite line was nearly, "Get ready, we're coming in hot." Just because it's said so many times. But it was quite fun.
Yeah.
But we're straight in with these interceptors.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can tell when you're going to do it now because you look at a different screen.
Yeah. Oh my God, what am I doing? I have to find the right button to press. I've only got one button.
Incredible.
This was quite a tricky one to find something in this episode. I'm sure there are things that I missed along the way, but I think I got so wrapped up in the story.
Yeah, sure.
But because so much of this episode takes place on Coruscant, and later on, the role-playing game did add information about stuff from the prequels. Yeah. But the point where I'm focusing on, like the West End Games bit of it.
Yes.
And by the way, listener, this is a segment called West End Geek Girls, where we look at something from the original West End Games role-playing game of Star Wars and notice how that's been featured in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And so it was hard to find something like original trilogy-ish when we don't really get very much of that. But I realise we haven't done anything about the ties yet. I don't know if we've done anything ship-wise yet at all.
Oh, I don't know. We did repulsor lifts at one point.
We did do repulsor lifts. I think that was, a while ago, actually. Or was it last week? I can't tell anymore.
Who knows?
Time is an illusion. All the ships, I think pretty much all the ships we see did get named by Lucasfilm around the original trilogy time. Even if they didn't get mentioned by name in the film, there were like behind-the-scenes stuff that came out and a few books and things. So most things did get named, and the TIE Interceptor did have a name. Yeah. But I just thought it was a good example of the sort of detail that West End Games went into when like defining the ships and talking about them. Excellent. And I don't know if the manufacturers of the ships were mentioned by Lucasfilm at any point, but West End Games certainly set up like some ship manufacturing companies, which they kind of spread across the Rebel fleet and the Imperial fleet, and some names kind of crop up here and there. So like the TIE Interceptors are made by Sinar Fleet Systems, which made, I think, most of the TIEs. And I think that's still canon. Right. We've learned a bit more about TIE development over the years, especially through the animated series, Rebels in particular. Sure. But I love how they kind of built around them. So it says like the reason the TIE Interceptors came to be, because obviously we didn't see any in A New Hope, and I don't think we saw them in Empire either. I think the first time we saw them was in Return of the Jedi. So this is very much this era of the timeline as well, because we're only still a few years out from Jedi.
Yeah.
So after the destruction of the Death Star at the Battle of Yavin, Imperial commanders and pilots called a meeting, which you can imagine how that went, with top Imperial designers to decide how best to counter the unexpectedly high level of Rebel daring and ingenuity, as evidenced by the performance of Rebel Alliance pilots and machines during the combat. After much debate, the panel concluded that the Empire needed a fighter that was faster, more maneuverable, which is almost a George Lucas quote, and more lethal. A fighter, in short, that could surpass the Rebellion's X-Wings and Y-Wings. For economic as well as design reasons, they decided to keep the basic TIE fighter design and modify it by drawing from the innovations included in Darth Vader's custom-built bent-wing TIE fighter, which I believe is still a unique ship.
Okay. We haven't seen another one.
Haven't seen another one quite like it, but obviously the TIE Interceptor has the same thing, and it's got those like bent wings.
Yes.
I'm just drawing them in the air, which you can't see because you're listening to a podcast. But you all know what the bent wings of the TIE Interceptors look like. And apparently that was to like maximize the surface area of the solar panels, which is what powers the drives, without making the wings bigger. Because already with the TIE fighters, they were struggling with... Big. Yeah, they obstruct the view of the pilot because they keep, if they brought them any further forward. You wouldn't be able to see. By bending them, they can get more surface area. I think that's what they mean anyway in the rule book. And also they cut out, there's like a cut out section on the front part of the wings where they become like dagger bits, the triangle bits, the top and the bottom bits. Which allowed the pilot to see through the gaps. Which I don't know how the physics of that would really all work, but I love the West End Games like explanation. Why did they make the TIE? Jessica would love this because she's always talking about like the development of design in Star Wars, which I love. True. And I feel like this is a great example of that.
She'll probably know.
Yeah, I bet she does. It's usually Doug Chang, I think, and his team that do this sort of visual development, but I like how the role-playing game did some of that legwork in the early days.
Cool.
So yeah, there you go. That's a bit about the shape of them. They talked about the weaponry, which is instead of, I think regular TIEs just have like a dual cannon that's built on, they call it the chin, a chin-mounted cannon, which kind of makes sense. If a TIE fighter can have a chin, we know where it is. Whereas this has got 4 cannons, one on each of the tips of the dagger things.
Yes.
Which makes it a bit more menacing as well.
Is it quite scary? Cool.
And now we see him in action.
We see them in action. We see some really, really beautiful shots of the castle just before it's gone.
And lots more lovely shots of Skye, the Skye coastline, which is making me want to go there even more.
Yeah, of course.
I was actually talking to my parents about going back sometime soon and heading over to that west coast to go and check out
Bo-Katan's castle. Nice.
Oh, so funny.
My notes no longer make sense because I wrote them on Tuesday.
Yeah, this was a while ago now. For your information, listener, we postponed as Seah and I went on an adventure to London, which was much fun.
We went on an adventure instead. We needed to prepare.
But it did impact our regular recording slot.
Definitely. I've written here classic bait and switch maneuver, but I can't remember what that's about. So, I think it's that they get Bo-Katan's drawing them off.
Yeah,
and then Mando goes off and
gets his N1.
So yeah, they don't actually bomb the N1.
Yeah,
at any point.
Still don't know what's happened to the N1. Whether it's I don't know if we're going to see it in the movie or ever again. Ooh. He does an amazing he has done a similar maneuver in the Razor Crest, but I feel it was a little bit more pizzazzy in the N1, where he does the takeoff. He takes off almost vertically immediately and goes up and up and up, and then does a quick 180 and dives straight back down.
Yes,
it's like the most hot rod maneuver. And we know the M1 is super zippy and maneuverable, but this I think this space battle, well, it's not really a space battle, it's like an atmosphere battle. Yeah, I think it kind of really shows us the N1 in full effect, which, why he'd want to go back to the Razor... No, I kind of know why he wants to go back to the Razor Crest.
More room. He can't really sleep in the M1. He's having trouble.
I think he needs to do like a camper van situation. You know when people have camper vans and they tow a little tiny car so that when they get to where they're going, they can drive the little car. I think that's what we need.
That's a good idea.
Crest.
I like it.
Yeah.
We get this great little section of Bo-Katan flying the cliffs and reassuring R5.
Yeah. R5 looks terrified if a astromech could ever really look terrified.
He sounds terrified.
Doesn't he pass out? He passes out later, I think.
He does.
He just like falls over. He gives up. Poor R5, he's been through so much.
He has been through a lot.
Bo does a funky little 180 move. She can like flick the wings individually.
Yes.
Because like the wings of the gauntlet can do that like 180 rotation thing, or 90-degree rotation.
Yeah.
And she does a flip of one of the wings and it makes her whole ship like completely 180 and she goes back to like help Din, I think.
Yeah.
There's a line, those mud scuffers bombed my home.
Yes.
Which is pretty horrific as a moment. But mud scuffers, I was like, where have we heard that before? And it's what Kara says when her gun jams in the rescue episode. Apparently it's used in Star Wars Outlaws as well, which is a game I've not yet played. But I really want to play. Particularly as there's a new book that's come out, well, newish, reasonably recently, associated with Star Wars Outlaws, and I feel like I need to play the game before I read the book.
Yeah, fair.
I don't think it matters if you do or don't, but like, I kind of want to.
Kind of want to anyway. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But then pretty much that's it.
That's it, yeah. Din sends coordinates to the mystery covert planet, and off they go. Did one of them ask the question, where did the ties come from?
I have no idea now.
I just asked that myself.
Where did they come
where
from?
Did these ties come from?
Because it is a bit of a random attack, isn't it? But then it's kind of explained away a little bit by Bo-Katan just being like, well, I've pissed off a lot of warlords.
So it could be another warlord. It doesn't have to be Moff Gideon. We're assuming it's not Moff Gideon because we don't know about him yet. What's happening with him. But it must be somebody in the area. And why don't we see any capital ships? Because as per the West End Games rulebook, and I think it's still canon, that none of these ties have hyperdrive.
Okay.
And although in A New Hope they talk about long-range fighters when they're coming in on the Death Star, but I don't know what long range, they're not going to be able to travel into system without hyperdrive.
So they've got to be close.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But immediately Coruscant
whisked away to Coruscant, which gets a beautiful music cue.
I noted the music cue as well. It's like, is it the New Republic's theme or is it Coruscant's theme? Something like that, but it is lush. I called it majestic.
It is quite majestic, isn't it?
Yeah. Which I feel like it is almost prequel-y in its majesticness, because obviously the prequels were a very different vibe to the original trilogy.
Sure.
Everything's huge in the prequels. There's like a cast of millions rather than a cast of like 10.
Yeah.
And the music of Coruscant at the time, I don't know.
Pretty majestic.
It feels, obviously there's a lot of prequel vibes in this, although it's all a bit twisted.
Oh, it's vastly uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's a very good way of describing it. I hadn't written that down, but like that, the whole feeling of this whole episode really
is really uncomfortable.
And I don't know if it's like, I'm sure it's intended. Shout out to Lee Isaac Chung, who directed this, by the way, who also directed an episode of Skeleton Crew.
Okay, interesting.
Something we're going to get to eventually. And he also features as a pilot in the pirate episode coming up later in the season. So we got to watch out for him.
Watch out
I don't know, maybe he's in.
We'll look out.
Can't remember if he's in like costume, but it is like he manages to create this discomfort, which I feel is we're supposed to be feeling what Pershing is feeling.
Yes, and he's uncomfortable. I think this whole opening bit, he's giving a speech, and we're never quite sure how much of it is kind of act and how much of it is genuine. And it's all really odd. And then instantly after his speech, he meets these people who are just... I've written awful here that they reek of privilege. It's all really gross.
It's disgusting.
And they're all like trying not to get involved. And the only place I've seen that before in Star Wars is Andor.
Yeah.
On Coruscant again. So it's like, oh, these people are still here.
We're like, I don't know, was it 20 years or something after Andor?
Yeah.
Maybe not that long, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe season 1 was like 15 years before, perhaps. I don't know my maths at this time of the morning. Is that happening?
Who knows?
But I'm guessing probably a lot of those people are still the same.
People.
They were there in the Senate and they've somehow survived the cull of everything and are still here now as senators for the New Republic.
Yeah.
There's a new book coming out later this year, which is the second of a trilogy.
Okay.
The first one was called The Mask of Fear. I can't remember what this one is called. It's got a really cool name. Anyway, they just released the book cover, and it's got some of the characters of Andor in it.
Right.
And it's set around the time of Andor. It's in that period.
Okay.
Well, pre-original trilogy anyway.
Yeah.
And they add to that feeling. Well, certainly book one did, and I'm sure book two is going to do the same thing, where you've got all these people that you just, I guess it's politics really.
It's just out of touch grossness and privileged politicians. It was really, it's really uncomfortable.
And my favourite quote from that bit was, "The Outer Rim, I can't imagine."
Yeah.
It's just immediately discounting an entire sector, not sector, like an entire chunk of the galaxy as being uninhabitable.
Yeah.
It's like people in London saying, "Oh, I could never live up north."
Or in the country,
Yeah. Just what?
It's wild, isn't it?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
They talk about how the Empire and the New Republic aren't so different.
Yeah, which we've had this before.
Yeah.
We've had this before. It's all the same. They're all we're not involved. It doesn't matter. They're mixing up whether they got drafted by the New Republic, whether they got drafted by rebels or the Empire, and they're just in a really kind of gross way.
Yeah. Without delving too much into politics in the real world, I think watching it this time around, even more so than when I watched it 3 years ago, whenever it was, I just felt so uncomfortable because it felt so close to the bone.
Yeah.
Of it doesn't matter which part you get in, it's going to be awful.
It's going to be terrible, whatever. Or it's going to be great for these people or terrible for these people. Yeah.
And that's getting worse and worse. Certainly this country in the UK, our current leadership are supposed to be like a left-wing party, but they're just the most awful.
Not.
They've just swayed so past centre into the right, and
wild.
Not wanting to get too deep into that, but it felt very okay, this is like the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he gets into this bizarre taxi with a really unnerving taxi droid come tour guide.
A very enthusiastic droid. I found out all the droids in this episode, the Coruscant droids,
they're just a bit creepy.
They are creepy, but they're vintage looking to me. They look like Metropolis, which I guess is a choice because Metropolis is a film about some of this kind of thing, almost of workers versus politicians and the control and everything else. But they have all got that vibe, which is obviously Ralph McQuarrie, his original sketches of 3PO drew on specifically on Metropolis.
Yeah.
And these droids feel like they're in the same, hey Jessica, where are you? The same kind of design evolution thing.
Yeah.
It's not just that they're humanoid, they've just got this kind of roundness to them. And I don't know, creepy. I know, again, a design thing, the speeder has this really deep keel underneath it, like a fin, which we've seen in the prequels before. It's I feel it's a Coruscant design.
Coruscant thing, yeah.
Kind of cool.
And he's taken off to the Amnesty Programme housing, which we kind of don't really know a lot about.
Yeah. It gave me Andor vibes again. It's got the same brutalist architecture. I feel like they might have used the same locations if they did use locations at all. Certainly to create the space.
Yes.
It felt very similar to where Val and Clea met up in season 1 of Andor, under, it's parts of London. I think it's in EC, one of the East Central areas of London, where there's a lot of this kind of brutalist, big grey, square angles.
Yep.
Which, again, feels like an Empire thing that's just been, it's just rippled into the New Republic. Yeah, and it is one of those Star Wars things, as you say, where we're not really told anything about what is going on. We just have to figure it out and fill in the dots.
Go with it.
It's kind of cool. I'm guessing there probably is more out there in the expanded, maybe in the literature space. I don't know. I feel like I'm up to date with the books, but I don't remember coming across this, but I feel like it's the kind of thing that there would be more written about,
more information
maybe in
somewhere,
comics or something. About how this system of what do we do with all these Imperial prisoners?
Yeah.
How do we humanely deal with them?
Yes.
I think there is a bit in Bloodlines, the book that I read recently, which is quite a long time after this, but it's still, a lot of it is around the New Republic infrastructure, and I'm pretty sure there was talk of this kind of thing about how we treat the people, and the Aftermath trilogy, which I'm currently rereading for the millionth time.
Nice.
This is around the same time as Aftermath, actually.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
They've all got numbers, haven't they, rather than names?
Yeah, which again is very like dehumanizing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. Yeah,
but then they instantly kind of humanize themselves in a little way where they're talking about things that they miss from their old positions. Yeah. And you're kind of like, what? Oh, okay. Sure.
I think this is where the discomfort really kicked in.
Yeah.
The moment for me where I first started to like really feel on edge, apart from the excessive tour guide droid, was when the Doctor kind of recognizes Elia Kane.
Yes.
And they have like this eye contact and you don't know what either of them's thinking. They're both doing a really great job as actors of like being cagey.
Yeah.
We know each other, but do we like each other?
We know each other. Do we like each other? Do we actually know each other?
Yeah.
Have we just seen each other in passing? And they kind of go into it a little bit later, but it feels like with the Empire stuff, they kind of keep everyone very separate. It's quite secretive.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't have the rank, you're not going to know the information kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you mean the bit where they're talking about like, we didn't speak to each other on Moff Gideon's ship? Yeah. That was, really sort of like a pointed reference to their separation. Yeah. Which kind of makes sense in kind of military regimes. Like, you've got to keep it all dispassionate and separate. They say that Gideon, they're talking about Gideon.
Yes.
As they sort of bring out, which I was quite surprised about. I thought that neither of them would mention the fact that they knew each other at all, but they do get into it a bit.
Yeah.
And one of them, I can't remember which, says, I heard they hooked him up to the Mind Flayer.
Yes.
I think it might be one of the other Amnesty people.
Yeah, I think it is.
Which, it's like kind of like setting up what's going to happen later on in the episode. But I love it's another D&D. Is it a D&D reference or is it a Stranger Things reference at this point?
I don't know. It's D&D originally, isn't it? But then
I think
I always go Stranger Things and D&D when I hear about a Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when that episode of Stranger Things where it was first mentioned was aired, and like I rushed off to get the monster manual so I could show my parents. Look, it's the Mind Flayer.
It's an actual
In other
thing.
words, I'm a geek.
Yeah. Me too. Yay.
But yeah, they do. This is why we're here. They do the. We're going to denounce Gideon.
Yeah.
We're good people. We're not like him.
Yeah.
Long live the New Republic.
Blah blah blah. All of that bit. Yeah. Oh my god. And then he's on his own in his quarters, I assume, and he's watching a really cheerful sounding film about Coruscant.
Yeah. Is this like forced viewing for Amnesty?
Yeah.
Like people, do they have to like have this brainwashing kind of thing?
And it's still like the same with the droid as well that's there to like, are you having any feelings?
Yeah.
It's awful.
They're just going to keep asking until you say the right things.
Yeah. It's so grim.
It's not great, is it? No. It does not set up the New Republic as very good. I'm going to be interested to see in The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is kind of why we're watching all this stuff in a way, is that we're going to see some parts of the New Republic, but I feel like we're just going to see some of the outer rim parts of the New Republic with Sigourney Weaver's character and Carson Teva and all what's going on with, just that little squadron of fighters and fighter pilots out in the outer rim and how different that's going to be to what's going on
in Coruscant.
Right in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure, true of a lot of like politics.
Yeah, of course.
Like this core thing going on in the capital, but like everywhere else, life is just carrying
on. Yeah. But then we see where he's working as well, and like this is.
We get the biscuits. We get the biscuits
first.
Yeah, there's this little like. I love this just little plot thing of the biscuits are their kind of like relationship.
Yeah,
it's the one common ground thing that Elia Kane and Pershing have got. They've got a difference in that she liked the red ones, whereas he likes the yellow ones. But they still have that kind of common ground. It's a little tiny bit of common ground, which she is obviously going to exploit.
Yes,
in this cool way of like sending him a little box.
Yeah, with no clear motive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, very secretive at the minute.
Yeah.
In the Coruscant video, I forgot, I've just realised that I've written this down. They mentioned a word, Ecumenopolis, which is what Coruscant is, which is apparently a planet that is entirely occupied by a city.
Yes.
I don't know why that is in our language, because,
we don't
know about any cities on any other planets. And our planet isn't one big city, but maybe it's just like a Latin name that's kind of been created by sci-fi writers, maybe.
Sure.
Because that is, one of the characteristics of this particular planet.
Yeah, well, we only see the highest mountaintop, don't we? That's the only planet that's visible.
Which we're about to see, which I think is perhaps why they just threw that word in there.
Yeah.
They're just like kind of world building, literally.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What is happening?
Yeah.
Which means it's all built so high.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Well, the level that we're jumping around a bit here.
That's right.
But where they are walking, where they see the top of the mountain is level 5,127.
Oh my God.
That's the highest place on Coruscant.
Okay.
It's also called Monument Plaza. And there is like a whole backstory about the levels, and the more you kind of like go into the expanded universe stuff.
Yeah.
There's like particular levels that are like no-go areas.
Yeah, of course.
Like the lower you go, the worse things get.
Yeah.
In terms of like underworld and danger and everything. Although some might say the politicians on level 5127 are more dangerous
than anything
those that are eking out a living lower down in the city.
Yeah, sure. We see his job, and he's in this cubicle. Again, very, very Andor. They've just repurposed the building.
Yeah. It's like where Cyril was working. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly where Cyril was working, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, not being utilised for what they're good at.
Yeah.
And like this real sense of...
He's just doing a stupid job.
Yeah, here's a boring job. Kind of almost punishment, but not quite.
Taking away any kind of power or any situation where they might start to cause disruption or damage. They've got to just be in this really transparent, open plan space where they can be kept an eye on, which is where that line that I picked about Happy Bendu Day.
Yes.
We hear a couple of days a week in this, and I don't know if they existed before this episode or if somebody just invented the Star Wars days of the week.
We get Tongs days as well, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know what that one refers to, but Bendu Day caught me out because Bendu is a character in Rebels who is like a Jedi being, or not a Jedi being, a Force being. He's definitely not a Jedi being. Okay. He's like a neutral Force user, voiced by Tom Baker.
Okay.
And he lives on this remote planet that they set up a base on, and they just stumble upon him. Maybe the Force brought them to him.
Yeah.
But he's like a sort of a giant kind of, I don't know, half wildebeest, half plant. I can't even really describe it. When we watch Rebels, you'll see he's really cool. It's almost, I suppose, our days of the week are based on
gods,
mythological things. Yeah. And so maybe Bendu is like the equivalent of like
mythological
Bendu,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one's Tongs days.
Yeah. Tong sounds like a god. Could be a god. Yeah. Sounds a bit Norse.
Sounds a bit
something.
Thursday-ish to me.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Completely fair.
So should we go to Monument Plaza?
Yes, I think we should. It's almost like it's working really, really hard to kind of humanize these people, but also not keep you on edge the entire time.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought about here was it's a bit Hunger Games capital-y.
Right. You've
not done those.
No, but I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I know.
Oh my God, that's a treat.
I do get that. Having the little I know of it, I kind of get that.
Yeah. It's very, very similar in that everyone in the capital doesn't really know. There's loads of people there. They're all kind of very ostentatious, and they're all like, there's something that happens quite early on where they're talking about they have these massive feasts and then they drink a little thing so that they can throw it all up and carry on eating.
Wow.
It's really gross.
Yeah.
And like you're siding with the point of view of the characters that live in like the equivalent of the Outer Rim, which is the Outer District.
Yeah.
So it felt very similar.
Yeah, there's a music cue which is, I think, supposed to be diegetic. It's like a kind of fairground carnival major key version of the March of the Resistance. Which is super weird. I didn't notice it when I watched it when it first aired, but when I watched it the other day, I was oh, wait
a second.
But in major,
That's
really
so
bizarre. Like a bizarre choice as well.
Yeah.
Like the Imperial March in Solo, I totally got.
Yeah, that
because
makes
the
sense.
Empire, but like the Resistance aren't anything yet. They don't exist yet.
Yeah.
And yet this tune is playing.
Happening. Yeah.
Pretty weird.
But the other note that I had here is they're wandering through this like fairground, lovely place, eating what I can only assume is radioactive ice lollies. But they're still kind of dressed as Imperials in a way.
Yeah, I guess the amnesty.
And I was wondering if that's a singling them out
it could be
as ex-Imperials. And that feels kind of cruel in a way. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm so like anti-prison that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I think I did find it weird that they were part of Amnesty and they're having to do this work, but it's almost like they are volunteers because they're allowed to go free, although they have restrictions of where they can go.
Yeah, sure.
But they're allowing them to go to Monument Plaza, which I find kind of bizarre. But maybe it's like, look, you could have all of this. This could be yours.
What's it about? Yeah.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a philosophical chat where they sort of saying that they thought they were doing
good, yeah.
They're trying to be lighthearted, I guess. Yeah. Which, considering everything.
Which kind of makes sense, and I suppose you get that everywhere, don't you? You get that whole like, well, we thought we were doing what was right.
Yeah. Nobody's
deliberately trying to be an asshole. Well, some people are, but
well, yeah. I mean, it is interesting again in like the expanded stuff. There's more insight into Imperial characters, and even within Andor as well. Like Cyril as a character, their motivations are not the same as Palpatine. Just because Palpatine was heading up the Empire, there were people within it who were maybe like, well, not like these two characters particularly, but they're like motivated by different things.
Well, even Anakin to an extent, he wanted order. It not to be chaotic.
Yeah. He's like a very extreme case.
And
that led to him being an extreme character. But yeah, totally. Well, and like, we don't know about these two characters' motivations. We still don't know the greyness of their characters. Of like, was Pershing one of those people who was just like a science lover and obsessed with what, it's that Jeff Goldblum thing. Scientists never think about whether they should.
Yes.
They just think about whether they could kind of thing. And he maybe, although his motivation, according to his speech, was helping his mother.
Yeah.
But then we don't really know that, like they've so that kind of tell thing where he touches his ear.
Yeah, and it all kind of seems a bit disingenuous, doesn't it? So he's a bit like,
so
are
we
you
still
telling the truth, or are you just bullshitting your way through this?
But we do have the evidence of season 1 where we thought he didn't want to be doing what he was doing to Grogu, and he didn't want to hurt Grogu, and it's all very grey,
confusing. I like a morally grey.
Yeah,
moral shades of grey.
We got a little bit of Blade Runner vibes where he's being like questioned by the parole droid.
Oh my god!
Which again has that retro look with this psychological evaluation stuff, which is very unsettling.
Very unsettling, very grim. And again seems kind of like very Imperial, but not, because they're annoyingly cheerful.
Yeah. Which makes you feel like you're being trapped. To me, that's kind of what it felt like. This is a very weird flex, but having gone through the healthcare system as a trans person, there's a fair amount of psychological evaluation, because guess what, guys? They don't just give you drugs for nothing.
They don't.
You have to be evaluated, and there is a sense of like, how am I supposed to be? And I feel like the droid gives you that vibe of like, are they trying to trick me?
Yeah, what's going on? Why are they doing this? I've also had some various psych evaluations for various things, and I find them so weird and so uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's really hard not to start like outthinking yourself, and which I guess is the point of them in a way, is it makes you like, if you're evaluating yourself, like ostensibly the doctor is evaluating you.
I wonder if it's different because we're fairly clearly quite neurospicy.
Maybe.
I wonder if it's fairly different for neurotypical people as well.
Could be. Do neurotypical people find themselves in these situations?
Yeah.
An interesting question to ask, because Pershing is clearly neurospicy as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting to think about.
And do we find watching those things as people who have been through some psychological evaluation more uncomfortable than
people who haven't? Oh
my God.
Ooh. Well, we might have just opened up a whole other podcast.
Yeah. That's going to be working in the way in the back of my mind.
This is what happens when you record at 9 a.m. Okay.
Shout out to Regina Homosea, who voiced the droid.
Oh, yeah.
She also voices a witch in Tales of the Empire, which I'm guessing is some of the episodes where we learn about Morgan Elsbeth.
Right, yeah.
The Night Sisters and all of that kind of
Nice.
thing. But she was great. I looked her up because I thought she sounded like Tia Sircar, who plays Sabine in Rebels. And I thought, is this like another voice acting job for Tia?
Yeah.
But no, it's somebody else. But she was awesome. Really cool.
Cool. My next note was, again, because my notes don't make sense to me anymore because I wrote them too many days ago. But it now says, what is her game here? Is she evil? What's happening? Because I guess we go straight into her trying to kind of persuade him a little bit that he wants to carry on his science.
Yeah, and does she know... has she already sown that seed? I mean, she did a little bit at their first meeting in the Amnesty Place, a little bit. Because he already is like starting to think that, because he asked the droid, what would happen? Could I carry on my work?
Yeah.
At my own leisure kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she said no, because it's cloning.
Yeah. No, you're not
going to be doing that. Yeah. But yeah, Elia's immediately cashing in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like just stretching him, which made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't know she was going to do ultimately what she was going to do, but I felt like there was a reason. I thought she was just trying to help him to like continue with Gideon's work and break out of the New Republic eventually.
Yeah.
But not, absolutely not.
Where she actually went with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the nervousness that you start to feel straight away. I mean, it's a trope, isn't it? Of like, we're gonna just stretch the rules here.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be being good prisoners, not prisoners, amnesty
people, yeah.
But we are going to step out of our designated perimeter.
And it's all the kind of greater good.
Yeah.
She's persuading him it's for the greater good and it's going to help in the long run and all this. And this is where I feel like he potentially is a little bit more driven by the science or by the curiosity.
Yeah.
Because he talks himself around quite quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
And he doesn't seem to be particularly evil, and he's so genuinely excited by the labs.
Yeah. Yeah, he starts to like look at ways of how can I do this while also like, basically not getting caught.
Yeah.
There's that threat of the Reintegration Institute, which we don't really know what that is, but it doesn't sound good.
No, he's already been there.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like fun.
There's another droid evaluation as he's making his decision to go with it.
Yeah.
And the music is, again, very Blade Runner.
Yes.
In Blade Runner, Vangelis used synths to create the score, and it's a very characteristic score. It's like groundbreaking, iconic, all of those things. And this, I think, is orchestral. I can't tell if it's orchestral or synths. It's like, I think whoever, is it Joseph Shirley again in this? Is he carried on after Boba Fett? Yeah. He's good at like using instruments in ways where you don't really
know what they are.
But it's got these big slow chords. I think they might even be major chords or like it's in a major tonality overall.
Yeah.
And it's just like
slightly unsettling.
It is unsettling, that's exactly what it is. It's too nice, and it is unsettling because it's too nice
for the situation that you're in.
Yeah,
and you're so in Pershing's head at that point, or like trying to work out what his overall motivation is.
He's trying to make it work. He asks again, and she's asked him if he felt any anger or resentment. Towards the New Republic, and he has to really think about that.
He's kind of following the rules, but kind of not. It's kind of that trope with the person who's doing the evil things to you has really cheerful music trope.
Yeah.
And it feels very like that. Like the one that instantly came to mind is there is a character in one episode of Our Flag Means Death,
right,
who's like a classical musician as well as a master of torture.
Yeah.
And that is his whole thing.
Yeah.
Classic.
I love it. Musically, they flip it when he goes to see Elia Kane and says, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
We hear pretty much a direct quote of Palpatine's teachings, which is the music cue when Anakin and Palpatine are in the opera.
Yeah.
And it's have you ever heard the
story of
Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yeah.
It's sort of diegetic, I think, in Revenge of the Sith, where it's the music of the opera. I think. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be or not, because there are other sound design elements of the opera.
Yeah.
But there is that like deep single note.
Yes.
Very, very low male voice choir note thing. And we hear that when he says it, and it's almost like a dark side vibe. Yeah, I don't know. It's very, very specific.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it's Coruscant evilness is what we associate with that music.
Yeah. Coruscant specific evil.
But he's still trying to tell himself, he's in the mirror looking at himself saying, you're helping the New Republic. It's the right thing to do, which is where I think, because we see him on his own saying that out loud, I feel like he is pretty genuinely just in it for the science.
Yeah.
And always was, which makes it all the more sad what is about to
happen. And then we're straight into the train.
Yeah.
He's talked himself round.
It's Torg's Day.
It's Torg's Day. Torg's Day, am I right?
Yeah. I had to look up the name of the Bufapel race, which I recognised. I couldn't remember where it was from, but apparently there was one on Canto Bight in Last Jedi.
That makes sense.
That's where I've seen them before. Yeah, in the casino.
That makes complete sense. I think the train's got a really nice music cue as well. Yeah. That's exactly what I was going with.
It gave me Lord of the Rings vibes, I think, just because it was quite epic and big sounding. I guess it's spectacular Coruscant landscape again.
Everything's a bit grander and a bit bigger.
Yeah, I mean, he's enjoying the view. He's like, wow, almost, at the cityscapes.
Yes.
We go through those little tunnels, which were in Attack of the Clones. I think Anakin and Obi-Wan, when they're chasing Zam Wesell through Coruscant, and they go at one point, I think Anakin takes a shortcut that basically takes them into this industrial area. So it could be those same tunnels. I don't know.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, they go into that like weird industrial place, which is where they're doing the dismantling of the Imperial ship, dismantling depot. And apparently some of the Republic stuff as well, which is really, again, ties back into the expanded universe and the Aftermath trilogies, where there are some of the interludes where it's talked about the fact that Mon Mothma is trying to end the military aspect of the New Republic, whereas a lot of her advisors are sort of saying, no, we can't do that yet.
Right.
There's an advisor called Hostis Idge.
Okay.
Shout out to whoever came up with that name. That's so Star Wars. Who's saying we can't just dismantle the military. And obviously they're dismantling the Imperial military for obvious reasons, although it does seem like a waste. And I think they talk about that in this.
They do, He talks about it quite a lot, Pershing, when he's in his job. And they're just like, you're too far behind. We need to keep working.
Yeah. They have a nice little just interchange where one of them says, have you done this sort of thing before? And, well, that's Pershing who says that. And Elias says, where do you think I got the biscuits? Which is a nice confirmation of, you've been manipulated. But by this point, he's so excited about the mission.
He doesn't really,
He doesn't realise, she's tricked me.
Yeah. He's not quick off the mark.
Not at all.
I suppose there's being quick off the mark, but there's also, he must be really quite isolated at this point. And is she the first person that's kind of shown him some sort of humanness? Yeah, that's not edged.
Yeah, she did a really nice thing.
Yeah.
That was quite a challenge because they were like, we can never find those biscuits again.
Yeah.
And she somehow has got some.
Yeah.
So she's very clever.
She's very clever.
Very manipulative. I love her character so much.
She is good.
Yeah, the ticket droid sounded like Richard Iwata again.
Yes, it did.
I looked it up. The droid was not credited. It could just be a post-production person.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's quite a terrifying sequence, that. like
the way it's shot,
down by the ticket
droid is made to look really menacing. I mean, it's literally just like a ticket inspector. Big deal. You might get thrown off the train. But I suppose there is more at stake because they're outside of their designated perimeter.
They're not supposed to be there.
Which could mean some bad stuff. But like, I know what you mean. It is really scary, like unnerving. It's very Blade Runner again, I felt. And I also said Matrix, like it reminded me, I guess because of the subway being on the underground.
Yeah. Running through
in the Matrix. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But the exhilaration, as they jump off.
They jump out, land on whatever they land on.
Yeah, he gets that seeing the Star Destroyer thing.
Yeah.
And he says, I've never done anything like this before. Like he immediately confirms that he's way out of his depth. And I guess seeing a Star Destroyer on a planet where you get much more of a sense of scale.
Yes.
Whereas when you see them in space, they will have seen other Star Destroyers from the viewports of another Star Destroyer or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a sense of scale, whereas you see it on the surface of the planet. It's huge.
And there's no guards anywhere. I think they do talk about that a little bit, don't they? They do. And she's just like, it doesn't work. There's no point in guarding it.
How can you guard something that big as well? It's just, They trust the rest of the system. And I think this is the New Republic's downfall generally, is it trusts itself too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is possibly true of all governments. Music is very like Secret Mission.
Yes.
There's like low synth sequence things going on and spooky ambience going on in the top end. It's another one of those things of where does the music end and the sound design begin?
Yes.
Because I'm guessing there's like sound design of like we're near a big ship that's being dismantled, and what does that sound like?
What does that sound like? Yeah, for sure.
Kind of in the industrial areas of Coruscant. But it is also kind of musical.
There's musical stuff happening.
It is.
Yeah. We get a tiny little creature shot, nod to a creature shot.
Yeah.
With a little bug.
Which I tried to find out, and there's no, like, I couldn't find any reference to it.
No.
I haven't checked the bestiary book yet. I keep meaning to. It's on my sofa. I keep thinking, I want to look up the little woodlouse thing that's like creeping around.
It's quite cute. It's got a good sound.
Yeah, it has. I feel like it should have a name.
In the subtitles, it said chitters.
Yeah.
It was the description of the sound, which is quite a good description of the sound, I guess.
Pretty accurate.
And then, we get into the lab and he's so excited.
Yeah.
He's quite cute at that point.
He says, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel for him because he is clearly a geeky science nerd, you know, and I've got a lot of time for those people.
Yeah.
Even if they have been sort of duped into using their science for something that's not very good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he reflects a bit on what it felt like to start working somewhere like this.
To be given a lab.
He's achieved a goal, you know, in life, which...
I kind of relate to that as well. I feel really sad that I now no longer have access to, like, university facilities.
Yeah.
And, like, recording studios and all of this stuff. It's just so out of reach. Like, it's what I'm trained to do, but it's so out of reach because I can't afford it.
Yeah,
So it's like, I've spent all this money and time learning how to do all this stuff and then just have zero access and have to...
That's super interesting. I'm sure there's a parallel there with science as well, of like, in history, the validation of being in a space like that, there were limited spaces.
Yeah.
Only a certain number of people ever managed to get to work in recording studios. And I mean, I've been lucky to work in some recording studios, but not very often have I been in the very high-end ones. And I still would get that when I go into a high-end place. I'm like, oh, am I allowed in here? You know? And that sort of achievement of that. But now we're in a time where we can do that stuff anywhere, really. You know, do we need to go into recording studios? And I feel like this storyline is a bit like, well, what do we actually need from this lab? Can I just take it home and carry on with this like incredible pioneering work on cloning?
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Sure.
We get a bit of insight into her life because she says quite darkly that she didn't have a chance to think about what she wanted to do. So I'm guessing she's an Imperial that was taken as a kid, radicalized or recruited or whatever, kidnapped.
She does say something earlier about going to the academy on Coruscant, doesn't she? Is that an Imperial Academy, or is that a...
Possibly, but I don't know that would be the beginning of her Imperial life, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe it depends what you're taken for. We still don't really know about Stormtrooper recruitment, and we see that in the First Order with like Finn and the sort of talk about his background and stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's a novel, which I've not read yet, or is it an audiobook? I'm not sure, that is about him and the character whose name slips my mind at the moment, who he met in Rise of Skywalker.
Right, yeah.
On the Endor moon. And yeah, by that point, they're doing that kind of child kidnapping type thing. Yeah. But I don't know with the Empire. Yeah, it's still a little bit.
What are they up to?
Yeah, unclear. But I just felt like she didn't have a very happy story to tell.
No. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's all very time to run. Oh no.
Yeah.
You've been betrayed.
Yes.
And like this moment as well, what could she have possibly said to them to get the New Republic on her side?
Yeah, but while exonerating her. But I almost felt like she's working, like part of her amnesty is she's working for them, because we see her in the operating theatre area place.
Yeah.
You know, and she's watching, and she's allowed to stay by the controls of the 602 mitigator.
Yeah.
I feel like she must be all in with the New Republic on the surface.
Yeah.
And kind of is she? I don't know. Like all of her motivations are so baffling to me, which is great. I'm not criticising the writing in that sense. Like I want to know more about her. Who is she loyal to at this point?
Yeah. Well, we don't have any kind of clues to that, because by the end of this episode, I assumed that her motivation was wipe him so that the New Republic don't know what we were doing.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, he's been talking about he spoke at the Opera House to all of those New Republic people about what he was doing.
Yeah.
But why he was doing it, maybe that's what she's trying to conceal, of like, how far did they get with Force users and cloning and all of the stuff that Pershing was doing.
Yeah.
I don't think he was maybe fully open. The fact that he did the thing with his ear when he was lying, like, we know he wasn't being completely open and honest in his public speech. So there's all of that intrigue. My God, there's so much intrigue.
So much intrigue.
And I'm left with loads of Elia Kane intrigue, which I think is brilliant. But we're still, what's going on with her?
What is she doing?
Yeah.
My whole note for this next section was, what is her game?
Yeah.
Is this creepy music supposed to be soothing? What's going on?
Yeah. It's like, it's sort of patriotic, like uplifting, but it's all really wonky. It's got like this pitch LFO on it the whole time, which is making it sound like it's an old record player that's warped. You know, it's that.
It's so weird and so creepy.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I guess like I've never had an MRI scan, but I know when you have an MRI scan, which is our nearest thing.
I've had a CT scan.
Yeah, I've had a CT, but I think with CT, because you're not in the tube. Like when you're in the tube of MRI, they play music. Did they play music when you had your CT?
No, they have a really creepy voice that goes, breathe in and hold your breath.
Yeah.
Breathe normally. And that's quite creepy. There was one that I've been in once. They stopped giving them to me because they were just increasing my likelihood of cancer in other areas.
Right,
but I did used to have them really regularly. And some of them played music, but not all of them, because I've had them in different cities and in different places. So like I had some in Aberystwyth, some in Bristol, some in Cornwall. And so they're all different.
Yeah.
And I have had few that played music.
I think my dad said when he had an MRI recently that they play music just to sort of soothe you while you're in that uncomfortable thing. And I feel like that's what they were doing here, but it was the most unsoothing music.
Uncomfortable thing ever,
possibly played. But yeah, she cranks up the controls.
Yeah.
Don't turn it up past this point.
Yeah.
Else it'll be really dangerous. Okay, yeah. It is very dark.
It's so dark.
This should offer him some relief. Like, they're doing this to relieve him of the trauma of whatever he was doing before.
It feels quite Clockwork Orange to me as well. It's all that kind of...
Yeah, it's like supposedly selective memory adjustments.
Yeah.
It's very dark. Yeah. Very like, the New Republic is, they're trying to be humane, but they're using a mind flare.
To do it,
It's not a mind flare. He's assuring Pershing, isn't he? The Moncal is like, we're not that primitive.
I've done this myself. It's fine.
I've had it. That's very his Dark Materials. When they go to the north and they're in
the cutting machine.
Yeah. Oof.
I've had it done. It's a little operation. It's fine.
It's just a little thing. It'll be so much better for you. What are we talking about here?
Absolutely not.
I love that the last thing we see is her eating a travel biscuit.
Yeah. In a slightly evil manner, just
As
after
she
she's
completely
ramped up and
annihilates his
wiped
brain,
wiped his memory.
Oh, so I mean, I guess we might see him again, but he'll be basically Lobot, you know.
Yeah. And how is she going to get away with that? How is she going to be like, oh, it slipped and now his brain's melted?
Maybe
like,
she doesn't care. Maybe she knows she's going to get put in prison.
Yeah.
But like she needed to do this.
Yeah.
And the only way she could get him into this machine and wipe his brain. Having heard, they had the conversation at the beginning of the episode about this is what happened to Gideon.
Yeah.
She knows this is the only way we can do this, and the only way to get him there is to do this. And if that means sacrificing herself to go to the reintegration thing,
then
whatever.
Fine, yeah.
I don't know.
Wild.
Who knows? Maybe we'll find out at some point.
Do we know anything about her after this?
She appears again. Doesn't she appear again later in the season?
I think she does, yeah. I feel, yes, I think she does.
When we see Carson Tavor go and try and persuade the New Republic to like investigate what's going on.
Yeah, we see kind of a little flash of her because she then knows that Moff Gideon escaped.
Interesting.
Or she gets the confirmation through that conversation.
I love all of this stuff. I love this story arc. Like, I know there are people who were confused about this episode and didn't like it because it was so different for the same reason they didn't like The Return of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I just like this bigger picture stuff. It's what makes us excited about what we're going to see in Mando and Grogu. We may not see anything, but like if we do, well, we are going to see some of the New Republic, and I'm fascinated by all of it, the politics of it.
What's going to happen?
Yeah. We go back briefly for a little epilogue.
My 3 little bullet points back to Mando. Patch it in, see what he's up to.
We're on the rocky planet again, which we saw in the previous episode.
He is an apostate no longer.
Yeah.
Although this lot are quite unhappy about it.
Yeah.
To start with.
And we've got this whole added thing of like, is bo-katan? Like, I do love the way that the armorer is very chill.
Yeah.
You know, we felt like she's, as this sort of cult leader or whatever, they're not really a cult, but like she has been a bit sinister, and she's given Mando ultimatums and booted him out of the group and everything for just removing his helmet and everything else. So we sort of felt like she's strict, but she says to Bo-Katan that by creed, you two are redeemed. And she says you can join as long as you want, but you can go at any time as well. It's like I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a cult tactic as well, but I don't feel like it's a cult.
She's not being sinister at this point, is she?
No.
It's not a threat in the same way that it was kind of before, I guess.
Like, it doesn't feel I feel it's softened her character. Although, I mean, when this was airing, we were still speculating as to whether she was bad. You know, was the Children of the Watch not a good place to be? I don't know.
I'm sorry, my last note has just made me laugh. I've written, nice caves, time to see the armourer. Bo-Katan's given a home too, both redeemed, one of us, yay!
Yay! Yeah.
That was my summary of the epilogue.
I know, I feel like I've got mixed feelings. Bo-Katan, I like the fact that she's a believer, like she's a convert, that she's no longer an apostate, she's redeemed, she's part of the tribe. Yeah. But also, I know that it still isn't who she is. She doesn't feel comfortable there.
No. And Mando said to her already, he says, don't take your helmet off. It's going to go a lot smoother if you don't.
Yeah. There was a lush musical cue at this point, which I think is my favourite. I was torn between the Palpatine reference, but I feel like that's not really a new cue, whereas this is a new cue, where it's kind of very tribal, and there's a version of the Mando piano riff, the da-dum thing, which we had a lot in season 1 and 2, but it's down an octave, like it's right at the bottom of the piano range. And there's this, you know, the major 7 dissonant thing that we got for the covert in season 1, which is there, but it's played by strings and synths and stuff now. But it's definitely like the Armorer's theme kind of vibe, or the Children of the Watch theme. Yeah, I love that came back, and it's just a really interesting new version of it, an almost more extreme version of it all. We're deep in the Children of the Watch at this point. Which I think is what Bo-Katan is feeling, of like, what am I letting myself in for?
Where am I now? Yeah, but she doesn't have a home. Her home's been bombed.
Her home's been bombed. Her gang, like her sect of Mandalorians, have all gone off to do their thing and left her on her own. But she has also seen a mythosaur.
Mythosaur, yeah.
And that's how we end the episode, with her looking at the mythosaur plaque on the wall kind of thing.
Yes.
And everyone's been very warm and making physical contact with them, apart from Paz Vizsla.
Paz Vizsla, but Paz Vizsla's always been a bit
standoffish. Yeah, I think he's just a bit bitter generally about the Darksaber and everything.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, super cool episode. Super cool.
A lot going on. A lot happening. Yeah. What a ride.
What a ride. And we're going to come straight back next week with an absolute contrast episode.
I know. Is this the nutty one?
Is the dinosaur egg one.
Oh my God.
It's so wild. Yeah, it's the perfect contrast to this. Yeah. It's so cool. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks for visiting this episode with us, listener. I hope you've enjoyed our little Coruscant excursion.
Little spin.
If you did, leave us a little 5-star rating or review on Spotify or Apple or anywhere where you can listen, leave reviews. Yeah. Reviews help us. They'll help us to reach other people and get more people listening and more people
Find
into
more
our
friends.
Ridiculous social media conversations.
Yeah. That is true. And you can follow us on all of the platforms. Not all of them, only the good ones.
Yeah.
When I say good ones, not all of them are
Some
good.
of them not that good either. But we are there because needs must. There. We have to be there.
Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube. You can follow us.
Yeah, those are the best places.
If you subscribe to us on YouTube and just give us a little comment every now and again, then that helps the reach there.
Yeah, YouTube subscribers would be cool, actually. We haven't got many. We're still in double figures, but not more than double figures. Yeah. But yeah, we have got a little community there going on. Slowly building. But yeah. Hope you've enjoyed listening. We will be back next week for chapter 20. We're getting there. We're getting close to the film. It's getting very exciting. Yeah, but until then, bye.
Bye.